The villain in the Ramayana Mahabharata is secondary. The primary is the one who instigate. The characters who have been instigating the hero of Rama or Krishna is the same. Is the reincarnation of her is the reincarnation in the Mahabharata is him? Namaste. This is Sasi Kulindi. Welcome to the podcast of season 2. We all know that there are two main antagonists of Mahabharata and in Ramayana. The one is Ravan in Ramayana, Ravan, and the second one is Duryodhan. In this, the one who had perpetrated Ramayana and Mahabharata is Manthra. She is known as the Kooni. And in second, the one who is known as Shakuni. And in the authentic version of Ramayana, some say Karna is the main perpetrator of Mahabharata. So let us take these three main characters. We must know that there are lots and lots of common features in Ramayana and Mahabharata. They are also known as Vijaya as Njaya. The Jaya is Mahabharata while Ramayana is Vijaya. There are the two names. One is known as Kooni. Kooni means one which have humpback. She is none other than Manthra. And the other one is known as Shakuni. The Shakuni is related to Kooni. Are you surprised? But I will tell you this. But I will explain some of the differences between these Shakuni and Kooni. Let us explain about Manthra, otherwise known as Kooni. Manthra hails from the second most powerful kingdom, which is known as the Kekayas. The Kekaya kingdom is one of the most strongest kingdoms next to the dynasty of Ayodhya, because it is one of the strongest lunar dynasty kingdoms. This Kekaya dynasty had one of the powerful kings in the Bharatvarsh known as the Shibiraj. This Shibiraj had the strongest allies such as the Indra, Agni in his side. This Shibiraj is known for his most righteousness, and some of the people in the down south equals that he is the perpetrator of Cholas. Why? Because some of them are disputed that Shibi Maharaj is from the Solar dynasty, but not so. According to the Bhagavata Puranas, which gives compact and concise details of the family tree, this Shibiraj comes from the one of the 5 sons of Yayati. This is where the lunar dynasty sets a mark in the Ramayana itself. So, as to forge a strong alliance, Dasharatha married Kaikeyi. And Kaikeyi is the most loving wife of Dasharatha. Since lunar dynasty wants to get a good grip in the Bharatvarsh, Manthra has been sent as a vassal for the Kekaya kingdom. She is loyal to her parent kingdom, that is the Kekayas. That's the main ideology, but the one which she thought as a bad thing, it was happened as a good thing. Since Bharata was so loyal to Lord Rama, since that was the Treta Yug, when there is a respect for a family members or respect for the brotherly love, he devised a plan that he won't ascend the throne. Rama will rule. That's what the ideology of his brothers. The brotherhood as in Mahabharata is stood strong in the brotherhood as in Ramayana. So this was the most important thing we need to know. The plan is to give a strong grip to the dynasty of the KKS. So what is the villainous thing that Manthra had done is she had devised a plan to send Rama to the forests for 14 years. It is because she need to make the Bharata as the crown prince. After the Dasaratha's death, Bharata will become the king of the Ayodhya. Despite Bharata as the king of Ayodhya, what is the advantage for the Manthra? The KKR will be extending the support to the sides of Ayodhya. So what will happen is the KKR kingdom will slowly creep into the picture and they will be ruling the strongest Ayodhyas. So they will be giving a strong stand in the Bharatvarsh. Since they have some of their relatives in the south region known as the Hayahayas are the forefathers for the Yadavas. In furthermore podcasts, I will explain you what is the power of the Hayahayas and who are the most prominent kings in that kingdom. I will be explaining you in the podcast. So to get a tight grip of lunar dynasty in the Bharatvarsh, that's what they devised plan, but it was a failure because Bharat was loyal to his brother Ram and he had also gone for sannyas at the time, that he will be a regent but not a king. That's what happened. And now you just have some break and I will explain about Mr. Shakuni. The most poisonous king and the most destructive ever dangerous king. He is known as the Shakuni. We all know that Shakuni is the most hated characters in the Mahabharata universe. But he has a reason for it. The Mahabharata is a story of mixed revenges. There are many disputes of the origin of Shakuni, but the Bhagavata Purana states that Shakuni is belonging to the lunar dynasty, the same dynasty which Manthra was there. But we need to know that there were many different side chains in the lunar dynasty. They all come from a same all-father like guy. He is known as Yayati. Yayati had 5 sons. In this, 2 of them who were born to Sharmishta were given one of the greatest importance in the Mahabharata. One is Yadu and another is Puru. The Yadu gives the Yaduvanshi while the Puru gives the Kuruvanshi. So these 2 folks were given a lot of importance in Mahabharata. They had other 3 sons. In this, one of the son comes from the dynasty of KKR dynasty, their side chain, and in other son, his family ruled the Afghanistan, known as the Gandharas. They were the Gandharas. The speciality of Gandharas is they are like wild tribes. They were cursed to become mlichas, that was told by Yayati as the son didn't accept the old age. That comes a different story which I will explain you in the further podcasts. Now I will just cut the story and I will just give you an explanation. That this Mlicha's family given a strong Gandhara empire. This Gandhara empire is known in Afghanistan, while the Kekia empire is in above the near to the Afghanistan and Pakistan region. So this Gandhara kingdom is one of the most strongest kingdom in the Afghan. Some people say they are not of Hindu religion and they follow the Mazhyad that's known as Zornotism, the Parsis. But we don't know about it. Now let's come to Bharatvarsh. Since the king Subala of Gandhara, he also belongs to the same lunar dynasty. So what is the purpose of Shakuni to create a Mahabharata and destroy his own families? That is, the same lunar dynasty wars happened. What is the reason for him to destroy? There is some facts I have collected that explains that Shakuni's father Subala was the grandson of Bharata. We all know this Bharata belongs to the solar dynasty. This Bharata's son is Subala. This Subala is son is none other than Shakuni. There is some theories that going on that Shakuni is a solar dynasty while the others are lunar dynasty. So that's not the story here, but why Shakuni wants to destroy the Kauravas is because of his love for his sister. The love for his sister made him mad. It is that as told that Dhritarashtra was blind, but Gandhari was scared of darkness. But the curse for her is that she need to wear the entire darkness until her life. As her husband is blind, she also made her blind permanently. This affected Shakuni a lot. Not only that, at first they were so reluctant. What has Dhritarashtra done is, with the suggestions of Bhishma, we all know Bhishma is one of the most straightforward and predominant regent for the Bharatvarsh at the time of Kuru dynasty rule. That's what happened. That Bhishma had arrested Subala and his other 5 sons. The last son was none other than the Shakuni. Why did he arrest them? Because he feared that they might plan a coup to usurp the king Dhritarashtra. But it failed. So that Bhishma might have put them into the prison and gave them only a cup of rice every day. So their brothers and their father devised the plan that they gave every food to Shakuni and they planned them to protect Gandhari and destroy the entire dynasty of Kuru. That's what their plan is, to destroy the entire Kuru dynasty, because they gave her youngest and lovable daughter Gandhari to a blind king. This is what the Shakuni had done. Now, I will show the similarities between this Gandhara prince as well as the noble of the Kekia. What is the similarities between Shakuni and Manthra, alias Kooni. They both had some deformities as shown in serials. As in Mahabharat serial, they had shown that Shakuni is limp while Manthra had a hump. But some of the fact checkers had told that Shakuni did not have a limp. It is because Shakuni had fought in Mahabharata war. A limp or a person with disability cannot fight a war. This is one of the controversies that the fact checkers and one of the who reads the Vyasa Bharatas have given some disputed comments that Shakuni is not a limp. But let us take into consideration that they had some disabilities. Apart from physical disabilities, they also had some of the crooked minds, such as Manthra want to make the Kekeya kingdom overthrow the Ikshvaku dynasty, while Shakuni had devised a plan that to destroy the entire dynasty of Kuru by giving them each other quarrel. That's what the plan. And the another similarity, they both had partially succeeded, as Manthra is responsible for the death of Dasharatha and the exile of Rama, while Shakuni was responsible for the destruction of Kauravas. Apart from that, they are both are not from the same kingdom. Manthra is not the Ayodhya citizen, while Shakuni is not a citizen of Kuru kingdom. Some of the other similarities that they belong to the lunar dynasty. We all know that she was born from the dynasty of Lunar as well as Shakuni. They both had a strong power in their kingdoms as well as in their kingdoms which they lived. There are not much data known about them in detail. These are some of the data that have been collected from the Bhagavata Purana as well as in the television channels. But the television channels can be trusted? The question you need to answer. These are some of the facts I had got from the resources in internet as well as in some Puranas and some of my well-known historians of this. Once again, I thank you for listening this podcast patiently, and don't forget to favorite this podcast and follow this on Spotify, Ghana as well as in Sound and in more platforms. We are pushing it to come into. Thank you, one and all.